As the real news continues to be an endless cycle of misery, despair,
and financial stories we do not understand.
We're here to bring you some of the stranger,
funnier,
sillier,
weirder,
sexier,
drunker,
animal,
old woman,
vegetable,
a guy from the RSPCA who was called out to what he thought was a distressed cow but was actually an old bath.
Stories you might have missed on both sides of the pond.
By which we mean the Atlantic Ocean, one of the world's 5 biggest ponds.
This is the News Where They Are podcast.
It's time for the news where you are.
Time for the news where you are.
It's time for the news where you are.
It's time for all the news where you are.
The news where they are. Jesus. Hello. It is the news that you didn't know you didn't want. I am Jack, a Welsh human being in the United States of America, precisely LA. And I'm joined by Dan, a Welsh human in Welsh A. Hi, Dan.
Hi, Jack. You got the name of the podcast completely wrong at the start then. Like, very, very wrong. I don't know what you called it, but that was too many words. Yeah, iTunes would let us on if we had that name.
Correction, it's the news where they are. Tagline, the news you didn't know you wanted that you're getting, which is also a different tagline to what I just said.
Right, yeah. It's the podcast whose name always changes. What's it about? We couldn't tell you. Welcome to Ducks R Us. Do you like dice? This is the podcast for you.
Are you a plug aficionado? Then this podcast will answer none of your questions.
It was a rainy Tuesday, and I had my bag for life, and it broke. Welcome to Bag Life.
Lots of fun stuff coming up in this episode, Dan.
Yes, we've got a bit of bonus content for you, because that's what the internet's all about. And if you want to have a little taster of what that's going to be like, that's going to be like, as I turn German for some reason, listen to this. Ooh, mysterious and enticing, and definitely enough to make you stick around to listen through all this shit. Okay, goodbye. I can hear you all skipping 15 seconds forward as fast as you can. Skip. Get to the women. Dozens of people in same town struck down with diarrhea, and no one knows why.
Yes, love a diarrhea story.
People on the Lady House estate in Milnrow, Rochdale have fallen ill, and the majority are now avoiding tap water altogether. I know what you're thinking, Jack. Yes, Lady House estate does sound like a euphemism for vagina.
Yep.
Just going to go trim my Lady House estate. I don't know why. No one announces they're off to do it. I'm just giving you a ring to say I'm about to trim my Lady House estate. Okay, yeah, I'll be. Oh, it's probably taking about 20 minutes. Okay, cool. All right, bye, Mum. Love you. Just wanted to say I love you before we go, because you never know how these things pan out. Okay, so let's get into the story. A housing estate has been struck by an outbreak of residents suffering from diarrhea. They fear the bug, which has affected dozens, could be linked to ongoing work cleaning out pipes. But Suppliers United Utilities say there's no reason to believe it's connected to the water supply, adding, "We've all been regular as clockwork, firm but fair stools." 550 households are avoiding tap water and need to keep the bathroom nearby, because they all seem to have portable bathrooms by the sound of this. First of all, I have a bit of wisdom I'd like to impart to the listeners.
Ooh, okay.
A little trick of how to remember how to spell diarrhea, which I was taught in school.
Oh.
And I've always remembered it. I've always remembered it, but not how to say remembered. I made room for how to spell diarrhea in my brain, and I couldn't make room for remember.
Did you often have to say it, Dan?
I think so. My teacher wouldn't let me go to the toilet until I'd spelt diarrhea out loud. And she was the maths teacher. So the way to remember, I remember how to spell diarrhea is, okay, so admittedly, the beginning, they didn't really, it's shit. Naturally, that sort of fits with diarrhea. How it starts is shit. You just remember to say dia, D-I-A, so just dia, and you go dia, rush, hurry, ah. And that's how you remember how to spell diarrhea.
Sorry, hold on. Do that again. What?
So dia, as in D-I-A.
That famous word dia.
Dia, and then it's rush, hurry, ah. So
Rush?
D-I-A.
R-R-H, rush, hurry. Last bit again.
O-E-A.
O-E-A.
Correct.
Ah.
That's
rush, hurry.
Yeah. Dia, rush, hurry. O-E-A.
Not only good spelling advice, but just a good general tip if you kind of feel it coming on.
Exactly. It's 2 in 1. 2 poo in 1. Also, why do they call? Do you know why they call poo stools? I don't have a fact about this. I don't know why. I was wondering why stools. Like we need a name for shit. What about shit? That won't do. We need something else. What, ladders, desks, windows. They're just someone in a lab somewhere looking around at everything they can see. What about calling them little brown Bunsen burners? What do you want to call them? Let's just go with stools until we can think of something better, and then no one ever thought.
Stools? No, I don't.
If anyone knows,
feces?
Also, the chart that tells you what your poo means, sort of like the horoscope for shit, is called the.
Yes. Oh my god, let's
Bristol
tweet that.
Stool chart, isn't it?
The Bristol Stool chart.
I don't know why. I'm assuming it was not just sort of named after the city. Bristol shit.
Makes sense.
Let's name this bum horoscope after it. Anyway,
bum horoscope.
So let's get into the actual story. Okay, so Jed Williams runs a WhatsApp group for the estate's neighborhood watch scheme. He says dozens of people in the group have complained of falling ill over the weekend. He said someone posted in the WhatsApp group last night asking if anyone had been ill, and my phone's been pinging ever since, which sounds like his phone got diarrhea as well. He said there must be 100 messages from people.
Oh, gosh.
I think WhatsApp need to invent a sort of runny poo emoji to help save the people of Rochdale some time. He said there's babies, old people, dogs even.
Are they all in the WhatsApp group?
Yeah. It looks like it. And also shitting themselves. Also, he says literally so there's babies, old people, dogs even. My wife's been ill. So it sounds like he's calling his wife said animal. And that the way he put leave a pause, Jed, next time if you want to survive. I don't know what wives do. I took my dogs out for a walk on Saturday, and when we got back, my German Shepherd took a big drink of water and was sick all over the floor.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So basically, the dogs have been getting ill as well, and we should, that should have really been obvious because, we've heard of the canary in the coal mine. Now we've had the shitting dog in Rochdale. We should have known the signs were there. Jed is a driving instructor, but he's now also a aspiring shit marshal. Every town has to have one. Someone who just stays on top of how everyone's shit is going. You've seen them. They come around to the house with a little clipboard and say, "Pooing okay? Everyone pooing okay in this house?" No
the trouble? Gillian McKeith of Rochdale.
Yes, Gillian McKeith. What a blast from the past. The
an ass blast from the past.
The old poo whisperer. And that's pretty much this. The mystery remains open. No one knows why the people of Rochdale have suddenly started shitting their pants. But I've got a feeling it might be promo for the new ITV soap Diarrhea Street, where on EastEnders, there's always a big tragedy at Christmas, usually a death, or some accident, whatever. Well, on this soap, one person gets to have a normal, satisfying, untroubling shit at Christmas as the big twist, and then it's back to watery stools for the rest of the year.
I would watch this.
One wipe and you can flush. Don't talk to me.
I am your shit.
Something about Dirty Den. Dirty bum.
Homeowner shocked to find naked man singing and drinking milk in kitchen. A Pennsylvania homeowner heard a sound coming from his kitchen at 3 a.m. in the morning. He was shocked to find an unknown nude man singing and drinking milk inside his kitchen.
Are they sure they haven't just given the dog a really close shave? And forgot?
It's a Siamese cat.
Yeah.
The town of Erie, it's very fitting. Erie police said that the homeowner inched towards the kitchen, which makes me feel like he was trying to do the worm.
Erie police, I just imagine their sirens go doodle-doo, doodle-doo.
Yeah. The world's shittest siren. So Erie police said the homeowner inched towards the kitchen, much like a worm, grabbed his pistol, 'cause America, and soon found the intruder sitting on the kitchen floor. He seemed to have appeared from nowhere. Okay, let's not. He broke in. He didn't appear from nowhere. He broke in.
Well,
the homeowner
why are we believing this so-called homeowner? What if some guy has broken into someone else's house, then rung the police on the other people in the house, claiming and the police turn up and kick the people whose house it actually is out because they're just naked in the kitchen enjoying their time. And now some man's in the house claiming it's their house and has rung the police.
Yeah, that's
true. That might be the perfect way to. Well, I was going to say rob a house, but people don't rob houses, do they? They rob things from houses, but no one actually robs the whole. Actually, that might be easier. Rather than having to break in somewhere and with a swag bag and loot it, why don't you just steal the whole house and get the people who live there kicked out, and now you just own everything there?
That's the rules, isn't it? That's what once that happens.
Yeah. Finders keepers, naked weepers.
What I am annoyed about, though, Dan, is that I've been looking everywhere and I cannot find any reference to the song the naked man was singing. I'm trying to find it. I've been trying to find it everywhere, and
what song is that? No. Well, there's an actual song called "The Naked Man." Was...
No. I'm trying. I don't know what song the actual man was singing.
Oh, right. I thought you meant there's a song called "The Naked Man Was Singing," like some old sea shanty. Oh, yeah. The naked man was singing. He sang a good song. And when I found him in the kitchen, I could see his dong.
Also, the irony really is that you're very much famously not supposed to drink milk if you're about to sing. It can be not good for your voice. Yeah,
mess for the old folks.
So the police knocked down the doors of Raspberry Street at around 3 a.m. and took away the naked man, pulled him away. I assume left the glass of milk on the table. They pulled him off. So yeah, sadly, no info on what song it was or why he was there drinking a glass of milk. Sometimes you really do need some calcium and vitamin D.
Yeah.
But
my bones feel very weak. I'm just going to break into this house. I'm so weak I can't put any clothes on, but I can force my way into this man's house.
Hell, if he was in the town of Erie, maybe he was a skeleton. I'm not even going to stop. Maybe he's a skeleton and needed bone nutrients.
Naked man in a dark, dark house. Dark house. Do you remember a few weeks ago we had the person who thought they found Freddie Mercury in their pork chop?
Yes. Oh gosh. Yes.
Well. Woman shocked to find seashell that looks like Osama bin Laden.
Shocked!
A woman has claimed a seashell she discovered on a British beach looks exactly like Osama bin Laden. That is how the old rhyme goes, isn't it? She sells bin Laden on the seashore. Deborah Oliver, 60, made the discovery at seaside village Winchelsea Beach, East Sussex. She was drawn to the curious-looking shell during a walk with husband Martin, 62, another relative of Eiffel, 65, as we had last week, as they celebrated their 42nd wedding anniversary. Legal Secretary Deborah said she picked up the object and noticed it resembled the Al-Qaeda terrorist.
No, just you're just having a lovely walk on the beach, and then you really like what? So why would you just notice super terrorist Osama bin Laden?
Oh, that's Osama bin Laden. You know, it's like when she accidentally spots someone you think you know. Oh, it's Martin. Martin. Oh no, it's not. Sorry, it's not him. Osama. What are you doing on the beach? Oh, no, wait, no, sorry. It's a seashell. It's a seashell. That's how you might imagine the moment going. I can describe exactly how the moment went. Deborah from Brentford, West London, fell apart laughing.
What? Laughing?
Laughing, and kept it as a little memento. Because, you know, to be fair to Deborah, no one gives September 11th enough credit for just how absolutely hilarious it was. She says,
"A memento! What are you talking about?
Oh,
I think we've got a lasting memento, dear.
Should we keep this face of a terrorist to remember our holiday by? That'll be lovely."
It's the only way we can remember that this thing happened.
She said, it's not often that you find a seashell that looks like anyone at all. So finding Osama bin Laden was amazing. Which that makes it sound, you know, it's not that often. Sounds like Deborah's finding seashells that look like people a lot more frequently than I am. Because I have never found a seashell that looked like a person.
No.
I know, you know, I find, you know, 1 a month, 2 a month maybe. But to find Osama bin Laden, now that was special.
Like she's got Pokemon cards. She's like found
it's
rare,
like a
shiny
seashell shiny, yeah. She added, This is
f***ing mental.
So we'd all gone for a walk on the beach, which is covered in millions and millions of shells and pebbles. Thank you for describing a beach. I was drawn to this curious-looking shell. I went to pick it up. When I looked at it properly up close, I thought it looked like Jesus. I then saw a turban on the top and realised who was staring up at me in the palm of my hand.
Oh my God. These words are not coming out of her mouth.
She added, "Funny that, as he was buried at sea too." So, A, does she think seashells are buried at sea?
2,
seashells usually live on the beach, but when they pass away, they get buried at sea.
They get skimmed out.
Yeah, but that's what Osama bin Laden, the CIA obviously did. They just put him in a massive oyster shell and so just nudged him off the boat.
She also knows way too much about, like, why does she know so much about Osama bin Laden?
So Deborah bin Laden went on to say that... Jack, I'm just pasting in the image. For listeners to a peek behind the curtain, we've got a shared Google Doc, and that's where we pop in any images we want to share to each other. Most of it's just, you know, photos of like us going, felt cute, might delete later. But this also sends stuff from news stories. So I've just put the photo of the seashell that looks like Osama bin Laden in the doc for Jack to see and describe. Jack?
To see and shell. So I'll give it to whoever. It does look like a face ish.
Like Osama bin Laden's face?
Absolutely not. It looks like a melted ice cream or mushroom. Is that someone's hand is it on someone's hand?
Yeah, I hadn't even noticed that, but it does look like that is skin that it's resting on. She did say in the story, didn't she? I forgot to mention that the husband is actually the guy from Sons of the Lambs. Buffalo Bill, wasn't it? What was his name?
Bill. I would say this looks more like Michael Parkinson.
Yeah, wearing a turban.
Wearing a turban with Cilla Black's hair.
Oh yeah, wearing a turban.
Wow. Final story for me comes from Michigan. Nice word to say that. Michigan drivers shocked when Billboard displays porn for 20 minutes. Someone was timing that too precisely. Police say...
This has been on for 3.5 minutes so far.
Yeah,
I can tell because I've climaxed 4 times.
I was going to say, Dan, be honest. Have you ever watched porn for more than 20 minutes?
No.
Same.
No, because I think it's morally repugnant, and I think that really any decent human being would not enjoy that kind of thing. And also, I'd already finished.
Police say a hacker might have been responsible for the explicit sex scenes shown to drivers on a Saturday night. Dan, this is the stuff we need to worry about. Technology is great, but also, hackers could start showing porn to everyone. It's serious. Okay.
So where was this on a big public screen? Was it
on a big public billboard? When you're going down the motorway, down the highway, and you see those kind of big advertisements that kind of pop up on the sides. It was one of those, an electronic one.
Right.
Usually has a shit TV show being advertised. Not today.
On the side of a highway, was it?
Yes.
Yeah. So someone was obviously turning around to come back and go, "It's still on. It's still there. I'm late for work, but there's porn on the big screen."
Police say they received numerous calls about the graphic images on the billboard. Dr. Justin Camo, one of the drivers who saw the sex-laden, not to be confused with bin laden, saw the sex-laden videos, told a local TV station that he nearly got into an accident because he couldn't believe what he was seeing. Yeah, that's why he almost got into an accident. I came across a billboard. We don't want to know. We don't want to know.
Oh, mate, think before you speak.
So he did come across a billboard and thought it was unusual. I like this bit. I saw two girls. Lesbian porn. 2 sentences. I saw two girls. Lesbian porn.
That sounds like the lyrics to a country song. Well, I saw two girls. A lesbian porn.
Another driver, Chuck McMahon, told Detroit station...
That's a fake name. Excuse me, sir. Were you watching the porn on the side of the road? Yes. What's your name? Laurie McWheelroy.
I only kept looking because I thought it was an intentional ad for something like a strip club. What?
And I would definitely be going because there's not enough quality strip clubs in this area.
I was just looking up at it and I was like, oh, wow, that's porn. Now that's porn.
Now that's what I call porn, 84.
That's porn. Police say that the explicit videos were on the screen for about 20 minutes. We will be putting up a video of the captured content. Don't worry. It's a safe for work version, so please do not hide your eyes. Although a site like this could definitely lead to distracted driving, there were no reports of accidents caused by drivers taking their eyes or their dicks off the road. Police, also, I love that everyone's laughing about the porn. We still have no idea about who did this and why. They just said, oh, yeah, it's very possible that a hacker got into the Billboard system. Great.
Yeah, we got hacked. What are you going to do? Wait till the guy who's running the billboard's finished and then just put it back on. Just alternate between, have two girls lesbian porn and then just have, say, never drink and drive. Here are some tits.
I also, it's funny that because there's so many, because in the US, Dan, I didn't know this until I came, but it's not illegal to use your phone in the car. So
interesting.
But they obviously
free for all.
I'm
downloading everything I want to watch off Netflix straight onto my phone.
But what they do is put up billboards to kind of put people off from doing that. So it's like,
discourage.
Do not text. Discourage, that's the word. But also, these billboards are so distracting when you look at them because they're so kind of explicit in their nature. I think that's more of a cause to be like in an accident because you're like, what the f*** is that? Oh, shit, I just crashed my car.
Also, as well, if they go in, they're like, do not text. But if you do text, there's nothing we can do about it anyway. Just, please don't text. News doesn't just happen around the world or to other people. News can happen to anyone. It could even happen to you.
This is the part of the show where we chat to someone who has had news happen to them.
This week, we're joined by two acti, and a model, and they're also two excellent podcasters for the Smashing Sundays podcast Tie. Welcome to the news where Beth Granville and Lucy Pinder is. Beth Granville and Lucy Pinder. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Hello.
Was that good enough? Did I get everything
great,
in?
Guys.
Great
Yeah,
stuff.
thank you.
How are you, ladies?
Good.
Yeah, really good. Yeah, just had a lovely bit of cake. That's the news where
The news
we
where
are.
we are is I made Beth a nice bit of cake to celebrate Foyles being on.
Yeah.
Because I'm
Yes.
a brilliant housewife.
Thank you very much for being on the podcast, Jack. I think that's everything we need.
Yeah, we've got it, I think. We've got everything. What cake is it?
It's a bit, it's like a kind of, I tried to be healthy, so it's like a carrot, walnut, nutmeg. It's like a sort of, what is it? Like
Really
a
healthy butter and
nutty,
sugar.
yeah, really, a lot of butter, but there's some carrot in it, so it's health food.
Yeah.
I understand news has happened to you. Beth, what's been going on in your life? I feel like you're constantly titting about everywhere, so I feel like something must have happened to you.
Basically, the question is,
about
what's gone wrong now?
something's always gone wrong. I got arrested in Berlin recently, guys.
Criminal in Germany, this
Yeah, they
one.
were shouting at me saying I'm a criminal in Germany, so I can never go back, which is a shame because I had such a lovely time in Berlin.
Well, sorry,
went to the war.
Can I ask? They were actually using the phrase "you are a criminal in Germany."
Yeah, as I was just getting frog marched off the train
Right.
by some undercover cops.
Excuse me, a criminal in Germany coming through. Make way. We're just trying to get her through to France, and then she'll be fine.
Me and my friend hadn't validated our tickets, and I bought a child ticket because I didn't understand the language, and it was cheaper. But that wasn't the issue.
She did. She's fluent in German.
Yeah.
Oh, this ticket seems kinder than all the other ones. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was, we hadn't validated them, and undercover police came on the train. It was really embarrassing, and we thought, oh, we're tourists, they'll let us off, and they didn't. They made an example of us and marched us up. The Polizei were there, and it was really scary, and we had the worst hangover of our lives. Mike had been attacked by a dog on the same train. It was just the worst day. It was one of the worst things that's ever happened in Germany.
A police dog undercover.
Yeah, and they said you've got two choices. So I was like, right, okay, so what's going on? They said you have committed a criminal activity, and I was like, okay, I mean, fine. And they said you've got two choices. You can either pay a €60 fine now, or we take you to prison. You go in the cell. We give you papers to say you've been arrested, and you pay a £60 fine. I was like, that's not a choice. Why
Take
don't
me
you
to
know
prison.
what
I want to see what it looks like.
Well, yeah, and
I
to
want
be
that
honest,
photo.
I'd had photo ID because you had to have photo ID, and I thought it's a better story if I go to prison.
It's so shocking to me because, Germans are so laid back. I can't believe they did this.
I know, right? I know, and we were having such a lovely time. Yeah, so that's my news. So now I'm just spending September. It was the sixth fine I'd accrued that month with parking tickets and ultra low emission zone fines. So I'm spending September eating chickpeas and not leaving the flat.
But I will keep you in cake.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, once you sort of things go really wrong for you and you have to change your identity, you can go back there.
Yeah. I'm living for that.
Lucy, what's been happening in your world?
Well, we were just chatting about this, and now I feel like I have a really boring life because I've not been breaking the law anywhere. And I'm off of probably drinking too much over the weekend. My mind's gone blank. But we did have on Sunday morning, were there five of us all in the flat hungover?
Yeah, we have not got the infrastructure for 5 chicks, have we?
5 girls.
5 girls in the flat.
5 girls in the flat. And two, I think they were goldfinches. Are they
Yeah.
goldfinches flew in the window? and came into our flat because I think. So I don't know if you've read about this, guys, off of news where you are, but apparently the UK's had like an influx of moths recently.
Oh.
And me and Beth have noticed loads of moths in our flat. And on Sunday morning, I looked on the ceiling and there were 3 caterpillars on the ceiling. And I think that our little goldfinch friends had come in thinking it was some sort of bird cafe.
Yes, that's what it was.
They thought it was a Smashing Sundays bird cafe.
Yeah.
All the caterpillars you can eat. But yes, that was quite exciting.
It was exciting. It was like, those little beautiful little birds that Disney princesses hold on their hands and feed them seeds. Instead of that, I just ran around screaming.
Beth was just like Snow White if you imagine her screaming at the sight
Snow
of
White on
meth.
When you started the story, I thought when you said like we've been having lots of moths, I thought you were going to say, and then we realised they were actually birds all along.
We just were really long-sighted.
What a weird moth. Have you ever seen this kind of moth before? It's got a beak.
We've got mothballs all over the place. Guy Pinder gave us some mothballs, my dad, because I told him about.
Did he?
Yeah, told him about all the moths. Bought me some mothballs.
I love them.
But quite frankly, they're doing sod all.
Oh, yeah, there are a lot of moths.
I always thought mothball. I've never actually come across what a mothball actually is. I thought mothballs they're like the ramifications of a moth, like the leftover.
Are they? All I know is I was given little ball things that you hang in your closet. No,
they're not that.
No, but Dan, I was exactly the same. I thought mothballs were like some kind of, I don't know, where moths lay their eggs.
Yeah, because you mothball stuff. So I assumed like mothballs were like just moth shit that got left on stuff after a long time, so that's why they call it like
it is. And the people
dust.
that want to get rid of moths are having real gags because the things they sell to get rid of them are ball shaped.
Oh.
Where's your research?
It's a marketing pun.
While we're riffing on it,
I was just thinking of if other people have mothball stories, then the mothballs where you are, please let us know how they are doing. Mothballs are small balls, check, of chemical pesticides and deodorant. Hey, money-saving tips already. I can rub those on myself. Sometimes they are used in storage with clothing and other articles susceptible to damage from moth or mold larvae. Mold as larvae. Interesting.
Moth larvae?
If you go to search what is a mothball, the second option is what is a moth bomb, and the third is what is a moth before it's a moth, which is a philosophical question.
It's sad that they look like soft mints. I love a soft mint, and I feel like
look like mints. I look like I've scattered mints all over my bedroom, like some deranged person.
Oh no, Beth thought they were chickpeas. Now they're on. Now she's going to die.
Mothballs.
So arrested and a bird attack. Actually, familiar with the podcast know that me and Dan often cover bird attack stories. So this feels right on.
You did a lovely seagull bit, which I really enjoyed.
We've done about 18 seagull bits.
Yeah, all 18 seagull. You did 18 seagull bits that I really enjoyed.
All right.
I quite liked seagulls until I spent 3 weeks on a caravan site in Rhyl. Not a fan, not anymore.
It's just normal.
It's a nice holiday, though. No, you enjoyed it.
I also love that, Lucy, it sounded as if you were going to then go into a story of like, I quite liked them until I spent a weekend with one. And actually, it turned out to be a bit of a racist.
He was a bit of a sod.
Yeah.
No, we were working in Rhyl and we stupidly put our bin out of an evening because it wasn't smelling very nice. And me and Katie, my friend that I was sharing the, I want to say Winnebago, but it very much wasn't, with, forgot to bring it back in. And when we woke up in the morning, they'd gone through the bins and I thought it would be like, a little bit of mess. There was just shit everywhere. They'd gone to town on our bin bag and I had to clean it up at 6 o'clock in the morning. That was fun.
Oh. See, she said she didn't have news.
Why all my news bird related?
A couple of birds on our podcast talking about birds.
So when you're not being attacked by birds, when can we listen to Smashing Sundays, the new season? What's going on?
Yeah, for further bird updates, where can we go?
So we've just recorded the first episode of series 2, and it'll be available for your ears as soon as our editor is back from Greece, where he is cycling with thighs of steel to raise money and awareness for refugees in Europe.
But we are really pissed off that he's not around to edit the podcast.
It's so selfish what he's doing.
Really selfish.
Those birds get around.
I know.
Are you able to tease who you've got on, or is that all under wraps and secret?
Oh, we've got a lovely first guest. We've got April Richardson Rossiter. I can never say it in one.
April Richardson Rossiter.
There we go. Who is fabulous. We had an absolute scream with her.
Right. Well, I'll listen to the podcast and decide for myself.
No bird stories, unfortunately.
I'm out.
This is the bit of the podcast where we give the world a chance to impress us with their news onions. And we pick... Well, we don't pick the best onion, that's right. But, you know what? It's just some stories from around the world that you might have missed, and we're very kindly bringing them to you. Okay, in China... this is a story about a teenager who had to go through 3 hours of surgery after throwing a peanut in the air and catching it so well in his mouth, it went straight through his mouth and into his gullet. You know that thing where you go, flick something up and catch it in your mouth? He did it with such pinpoint precision, and he basically sword swallowed a peanut and it got stuck in his gullet.
Over in Ecuador, don't have many Ecuadorian stories, do we, Dan?
All I know about Ecuador is the song that goes Ecuador, the dance song, and the which I'm pretty certain is called Ecuador, and then the Ecuadorian cocoa beans used to be on an advert for some chocolate. I used to be like, Ecuadorian cocoa beans. Don't know what that means, but they sound cocoa beansy. Please.
It's none of that. Guinea pig ice cream becoming a cool new treat in Ecuador. I was suspicious, but it was tasty, said one skeptical customer.
Which is frozen guinea pigs, is it? That's what they're calling it.
Yeah, it's guinea pig. It's very much the meat of the guinea pig cooked with peanut sauce. Yeah.
Oh my god, I actually thought I was being ridiculous there, saying that it was a proper guinea pig in it, not just like the milk of a guinea pig used to make ice cream. What's wrong with you, Ecuador? Jesus Christ. Man tries to cheat Skype interview by attempting to lip sync someone else's answers. So a guy was having a Skype interview for a job he obviously wasn't prepared for. And I guess there's not really clear in the story, but what it seems to be is he had a friend who maybe is better in interviews or something, much better at thinking off the cuff for these kind of, when they ask you the questions like give me an example of where you've worked off your own initiative or that kind of thing. Well, yeah. Basically there's a guy, he was on Skype and they'd ask him a question and then there'd be a long pause and then he'd start moving his mouth, but as a voice to the side, from off camera was talking. And the guy, he got caught out basically because he was just trying to lip sync to his friends giving the answers. So obviously his friend is a far more confident interviewee. So his friend would go, "Yes, when I used to work in the hospital, I did this," and the guy's just going that, completely out of time and trying to make it look like it's some internet connection,
like a delay, yeah,
like a delay problem. But he got caught out, and now he's the CEO. That kind of initiative that we want in this company. Jack, your next story.
Also in India.
Oh, nice.
Indian sisters run backwards for 13 hours.
By mistake?
Celebrate.
I swear this running used to be easier. I can't work out what we're doing wrong.
They did it to celebrate the 150th birthday of Gandhi.
Oh, nice. I really felt that it was going to be one of those where you really hadn't read what was going on. It was going to be some part of some very meaningful protest. They did it. These crazy ladies ran backwards to show oppression against women. Okay, let's move on. This is in Saudi Arabia. Man had tweezers stuck in his penis for 4 years.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Doctors have taken part in a delicate operation to remove a foreign object from inside a man's penis. The patient, 22, who has not been named, surprise, coward, claimed he did not suffer any pain since he inserted a pair of tweezers into his urethra 4 years earlier.
Why did you do that?
Doctors applied pressure on either side of his penis to keep the 2.7-inch tweezers closed while squeezing them out from the base of the shaft. It's not known why he inserted the tweezers into his manhood, but some men enjoy putting items in their penis while masturbating. The practice is known as sounding. And now you've got a thing you need to be aware of, Jack. It's called sounding, and it's shoving stuff down your penis.
God. Okay. All right.
Happy Halloween! So, well done them, well done world, well done news.
Thanks, Beth and Lucy.
Oh yeah, thanks to them as well. So I forgot to thank them because I wasn't actually part of that conversation. I was actually just lip syncing to someone else's interactions in the conversation. So I wasn't actually part of it.
I thought it sounded better.
Yeah, he was funny, wasn't he? Whoever that was. So yeah, thanks Beth, thanks Lucy, and thank you, News Slimes, for being the best friends we could ever ask for.
Don't forget to review and say nice things. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Keep musing.
You're joking.